Hey, church. It's Wednesday, April 22nd. Hope you're still healthy and safe and sane and somehow encouraged and built up. And the Lord is meeting you in unique ways, hopefully, this time. I certainly have had moments and waves, I don't know about you, of obviously uncertainty, doubt, worry. These things come in, and then there's a heavy spirit that weighs on me from time to time. I'll admit that. But I've also, and I wanted to take time today to mention this, I've also had a spirit of gratitude coming in ways that's been so helpful and encouraging and strengthening for me, as first and foremost, as just as a Christian. And it reminded me, and I went back and reread so many of the introductions. It reminds me, Paul, and so many of his epistles, his letters to the early churches, either in the greeting itself or at least in the first thought, somewhere in that, he begins so frequently to address the things he's grateful for in Christ Jesus, for them, the church, for the people, and the things that their character, their love, their service, whatever it is. It's so frequently. The one that stood out to me this week, I sat with it, both Monday, Tuesday morning, just kind of sat and thought, and it's short. It's in 2 Thessalonians, right at the beginning of chapter 1 and verse 3 and 4. He says he's writing to them, and he says right at the onset, "We ought always to thank God for you, brothers and sisters, and rightly so, because your faith is growing more and more, and the love all of you have for one another is increasing. Therefore, among God's churches, we boast about your perseverance and faith in all the persecutions and trials you are enduring. Your faith is growing more and more, and the love all of you have for one another is increasing." That's so good, and it feels familiar to how I feel in many ways in the season. I wanted to take this Wednesday midweek conversation to say that to you, to say that I want to boast a little in the Lord about you and the things he's done through you and the ways he's using you for his glory and for each other's good. Let me just say at the beginning, and we've kind of maybe mentioned this over the last few weeks, but I want to take time as a pastor to just say I am so grateful and encouraged by the way so many of you are giving to the church. I mean, this body of believers is always a generous group, but really it is deeply encouraging to see you guys not panic and react in a just an unhealthy way. And instead, it's just you continue to give financially and faithfully and generously to the church so that we can continue to do the work that we need to do. And so just thank you. Keep that up. I mean, so many of you have given to Mercy. You're given obviously to the general fund. You've given to the benevolence fund, which we've already, a few times at least, been able to distribute some funding. I suspect and expect that we will continue to do so. I don't know how short this thing is. Is this going to be an acute, painful thing for us as a community and as a country? Or will it be a long-standing journey of hardship? I don't know. And so that's why I would encourage you to just plan as best you can to continue to be generous and think about that. But while at the same time just saying, hey, we can't, as much as we want to plan and be wise, we can't plan everything. And so let's just do what's right this week, this month, and being generous. So thank you. You guys have just done an excellent job. I see God challenging you. He must be. He's challenging me in that area. It's been inspiring for me. Your giving has been super inspiring to me and my family. And the leadership and the way people are serving as well has been so encouraging, and I want to boast about that. We've always been a high participation rate of service as a church, but during this time of pandemic, my goodness, I mean, it's just the things I see and witness and hear about. I give thanks to God for it. Some of the just from the pastors doing their things behind the scenes, deacons, members, leaders, just like you start with mercy. Let me just go rattle through it. Let me go through some of these things that I want you to make sure you know about and you can give thanks for. I mean, mercy, just absolutely loving our city well and keeping us as a church mindful of the weak or the vulnerable, the marginalized, those that do not have as much as maybe we do. They're just doing a wonderful job. So Megan, who heads up our mercy, just thank you. And she's doing a wonderful job, and you should thank God for her. I know she's got key leaders. I'm sorry if I don't know them all. I know that she's got some key leaders. I think Vanessa helps a lot with clothing, and Julie, Sayer, Linda C. These people do a wonderful work, and there might be some I'm missing in the Mercy Ministry, but they do a great job. I know Andrea Nussbaum had put up, she was the one, in case you're wondering, or if you don't know, she has put up a list of great resources for families. If you need help or you need guidance in ministering to your kids, particularly in this time, you can get on our app and go there. But Andrea Nussbaum's the one that has put that together. She did a great job of doing that. Thank you so much to her. Don and Jill Dunley, they lead our care and prayer team, and the things I know about that, I mean, that I should do my best I can to keep up with it. Thank you, Don and Jill. You guys are amazing. They're doing a great job of reaching out to people and making sure people don't slip through the cracks. And if you need prayer, we all need prayer, but if you're feeling especially lonely in some way or beat down, reach out. They would love to pray for you, and they're doing a great job of doing that. And so give thanks for them. Goodness, our music team, just continuing to come in and keep a safe social distance from each other while at the same time sing, so that we have worship music. It's just been, I know me and my wife, it's like every week sitting and listening and singing along has almost brought us to tears. It has brought my wife to tears, I'll be honest with you. And so that team, Kyle, who's leading it, just doing a wonderful job. The other individuals that are sacrificing their weeknight to come in and be a part of that, like Morgan, Kayla, Mike, Peter, Eli, Sarah, these musicians that keep coming in week after week, giving up a portion of their evening during the week, during this time, to make sure that we all still get to worship on the weekend. And so thank you to them. There's people like Kate Titus out there who clean and maybe still does come in. I haven't had a chance to see her lately, but she cleans and makes sure that our office spaces are clean. I could just keep going. Goodness, the video and recording group. I mean, do you guys realize that, it's not really fair to even call it a team, because it's just Kevin Mackey and Eric Russell. And look, y'all, I just want you to understand and know, so that you thank God for them. I mean, they're putting in an extremely long amount of hours on this, and the amount of editing, I didn't know. I mean, I just didn't know. I didn't know about post-processing world. I didn't know about any of these things that I'm learning as we go. They are putting in so much time to make sure that we have a good quality service that goes up, and so thank you to them. And lastly, I just want to say a big thanks to Katie Noble, and she and her husband Dave, they mean the world to, I know, our church, but they mean the world to me. And I as you well hopefully know by now, the Nobles are leaving. They're moving away to take a new position with Young Life, the Ministry of Young Life, and that is awesome and sad for us. Both are there for us, because in one sense it's awesome because we've always loved Young Life and we continue to love Young Life. And we're excited what God will do with them in building and growing and a ministry with high school kids. It's amazing. But it's sad because we don't want to see them go, we love them. They're family. We are close to that brother, close to that sister. And Katie has served our church very, very well for years. And I know you know that, and I know that you are encouraged and have been encouraged, and I've been encouraged by her talents. Like she's obviously talented in her music ability, and she's been talented in her writing ability and sharing and presenting things and helping our church lead us through a very healthy and godly liturgy on Sunday mornings for years now. But let me just say, as a pastor, I just want to say this: what I'm been so grateful for, beyond that, for Katie, is her character and her love for Jesus and her love for the church. And her character has been godly, and she has displayed so much of the fruit of the Spirit. And seeing her in and out, not just on Sundays, but in the office during the week, and just being a helpful source to talk to. There's been many times where myself as a pastor, just preparing and things for the services, there have been moments of writer's block, just horrible, painful writer's block for me, sorting out my thoughts. And she's always, so many times I can think of, she was always a helpful soundboard for me. And I could go to her and just her Bible knowledge, the things that she was able to sort out and ask better questions and point me in directions that were so helpful. Man, I'm going to miss that. And I'm thankful for that time. And it was a source of encouragement to me, and then thereby to you guys as well. And just so many things like that I don't know if you guys know. Just like I said, that she was always someone that was inspiring in her godly character to the staff and to many of you. And we're going to miss her. And I want to say thanks to her. And to Dave, too, for, he carried a weight when she was having to carry weights for the church. And so they've been thankful, and they have sown very good seeds here, and they'll reap a harvest for it. And so with that, I just would say, lastly, I would just encourage us all as a church to give thanks to God for each other. That during this time, let us sow seeds, not just of sacrifice and prayers to God, but also sow seeds of just gratitude for each other. Let's build a deeper love for each other. And you guys are such a source of blessing to each other. Remember that and be thankful for that. I, for one, am thankful for what God is doing, increasing our love for one another. I love you, and I give thanks to God for you. And I hope that He builds and encourages you and fills you with gratitude this week. Hopefully hear from you soon. Please reach out if you do need anything. Love you.